Hey, do you like playing with paint, paper, glue, scissors, inks, dyes, gel plates? My name's Lee Elks and I love to play around with all of those things and create mixed media art and make junk journals. So on that note, let the creating begin. Hi crafty pals, it's Lee here. Welcome back to my little studio. Thanks for joining me and big welcome to anyone who's visiting for the first time. So we're here again to do another Margarete Miller collage challenge for week 42. So it's what's your favourite beverage of choice? Create a collage in recognition of it. I've chosen tea. So I collected some images from a Daphne's Diary magazine, plus another one that had some pottery in it. I've got some tea bag. I emptied the tea out of this tea bag and then glued the bottom of it back up. Got a label off a tea bag. And I'm going to put some texture onto my page. But firstly, I'm going to glue down this piece of tea stained paper. So I hope you're doing well, you're happy, enjoying life in general. Okay, so I'm just going to use paste glue stick to do that. Really getting on with this. So can't believe there's only a handful of weeks to go and it's all over for the year. It's been enjoyable and I really feel like I've grown as a collage artist since I've been doing this. So yeah, I really enjoyed being part of it. Look forward to seeing what the prompts for next year are. Okay, so I want this edge to be rumply and crumply. So I'm going to just stress that a little bit and then put some ink around it. I'm just going to curl it over in a couple of places and see how that goes. That cord out of the way. That's better. This has only been really lightly tea stained. It's a little bit light, but I'm hoping to jazz it up a bit. So I've got a couple of stencils here and some texture paste. I'm not sure which one I want to use, but what I'm going to do is add some tea to the texture paste and see how that turns out. I think I'll use this one and just going to put it in a couple of places. So I'm going to mix up some of this first. I think one tea bag will have enough in it for what I want to do anyway. Just going to get some of this out. And I'm hoping that the tea will stain the texture paste. Bit of luck. As well as provide some texture, extra texture. It looks nice. Nice and grainy. Okay, so you can see how that looks there. So I think I'll put a little bit of that down in the left hand corner. And I'm going to use a card to spread it with. I don't want it to be too thick because it takes too long to dry. Oh, that looks really nice. Happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit up in the right hand corner. and then I'll have to dry that off. I don't want to run that right up to the edge of the stencil because it has that that look of you know, the straight edge there, and I don't want that showing. That looks super. Love that. That looks really nice. I'm really happy with the way that looks. And while it's wet, I might as well put a little bit more tea around. I've made a bit of tea up yesterday and left the tea bag sitting in it overnight, so I'm hoping it'll be nice and dark. Just going to let them drip down a bit. I think there's too much. I'm just going to hold that page up. Try and encourage that to run down a bit. Alrighty, so that looks quite nice. I think I'm going to dry that off with the heat gun. That's dry enough to work around. It's not completely dry, but it's not going to, if I bump it, it's not going to move it, so that's the main thing. But I want to use some of this Distress Oxide and just put a little bit of stenciling in here, just in a couple of places. No, I don't want to completely saturate it with anything, any colour, but just a little hint like that, which you probably can't even see on the camera, but I can. Just get a little bit darker up the top. Might go over this a little bit, just a touch. Right near the edge of the page, I think is where it needs it. Yeah, it's a bit better. And here, I'm just going to have like a trail up the side of the page. Sort of viney sort of thing. Yeah, so that'll do for that. And now I will use a darker Distress Oxide to go right around the edge of that page a bit later on. That'll probably be walnut stain or something like that. So I can pop that aside and think about what I'm going to do. And what I've got here, some tea bag. I've got a tea bag, which is the one that I use to mix with the texture paste. So I'm thinking maybe that should be in there somewhere. Got my teacups. I need to flatten that out a little bit for it to sit nicely on the page. Maybe I should just cut it in half so it's only one layer. Yes, I'll do that. I'll cut the back of it off. Which side do I like the best? I actually like this one with the staple. So I'm going to cut this off here. And you got the fold over there, so that could go on here somewhere like that. I've got my teacups. Now I've got other things here. I have a packet from these, and they have some really pretty scenery on the actual box, so I'll cut a bit of that out. Just going to tidy that up. Just use this bit here. Just snip the corners off so it looks a bit like a big tea tag. So there's that.
the cups and the tea bag. Got all that. Got a little bit more tea bag here. I'll just pop some of that underneath. I think that needs a rough edge, and it needs to go underneath there. And I just want to put a little bit of text stamping in here. I'm just going to use that antique linen again, just to add a little bit of interest in some places. Just a little bit up the top here, that'll do. And pop that to the side. So I've tied that tea bag onto there. This is going to be the first thing to go down, so it's going to go diagonally. So I'll pop that on first. So I've got bits of tea falling out everywhere. They'll come off when I pick it up and give it a bit of a shake. So pop that on there. And then this will go like that. Now, I don't know whether that glue stick's going to work on that, so I'll use a different glue. So this is just clear craft glue. So I want that to be around about there. Now, this tea bag I stamped tea time onto. I might just put some, if there's any ink left on that, not much, but I wanted that to just sort of be under there. So lift that up. I'll use this clear glue on here. Now that string, I'll leave that for the moment. And I'll glue this on, so I want that to be down about here somewhere. My tea bag, I need to straighten that up a bit, a little bit crooked. Snip the corners off it and glue it down. This glue goes on purple and dries clear. So it doesn't matter if I get a bit in places where I didn't really want it. This tea bag, I think I'll have like that. So I want the back of the staple showing, because I want to be able to see that folded over tea bag there. Just pop a bit of glue inside, keep the layers together. Now it's just a matter of gluing down the bits that aren't properly stuck down. And I want to get a little bit of colour onto that string, this one. I would like it to just stay where it is like that, that's nice position for it. I wanted to go around the edge of the page with walnut stain anyway, so I'll get that out. Walnut stain. And I'll just put a piece of something under that, just under the string, so I can ink that up without getting the ink everywhere. Darken it ever so lightly. That's a bit of a strange term, isn't it? Just add a little bit of ink to it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And I might try and get a bit onto this as well. It's going to be a little bit harder. Probably just going to have to do this bit. Maybe. Oh yeah, get that in under there. Okay. I'm just going to put a little whirly bit of glue down. Pop the tea bag string into the glue, like so. Just a little bit more there. Okay, so try not to disturb that for some time. And I'm going to just go around the edge of the page with the walnut stain. So I want this to look old and tatty. So using it to curl the edges of the paper up. Okay, that's good. Yeah, what I would like to do is just put a bit of a shadow around the teacups. Just use a little paintbrush and use some of this tea. Just making this stand out from the page a little bit. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And I think after I finish doing this, I'll put some tea splatters on here as well. And I'm just going to splatter some tea. And I think that might do. Let's put the date on here. So today is the 15th of October. Oh, my wedding anniversary. So 1, 5, 10, 22. And that is week 42 of the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge, done and dusted. So what's your favourite beverage of choice? Create a collage in recognition of it. So I've got tea leaves in my texture paste. It's a tea stained piece of paper. I've dripped some tea over it. I've got tea bags here. That's part of a box, tea box, and some stacked teacups. And I think that'll do. And now I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out the playlist. So hashtag 2022 CWP42. That will show you all the contributions that have been made. And then there's some pretty clever people doing these. I hope you like this one, and tune in for the next video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment or ask a question. We'll get back to you about it. And in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. So cheers from Australia. Hooroo.